Hi, I'm Carolyn Smith.
I'm Diana Thornton.
We're going to talk about vacation rentals today. And Diana and I both have recent experience with that and also experience with our clients.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to talk about, would you own a vacation rental? And so would you own a vacation rental?
So it's so funny because we were just coming off of spring break, right? And so our family went to Blue Ridge and we stayed at this wonderful place that it's, it's my husband's boss's place, and we've been there twice now, and it's so tranquil. It's so different than Florida. It's got the mountains, it's got the views, it's got the bears around back and stuff. So it's so different, right, than what you're typically used to here in Florida. And this go around, it really, it brought up the conversation with, my husband and I, and even his parents, would you own one? And he's, so it got my husband thinking, and I was like, I would definitely own one. I think that would be amazing because I would
vacation rental?
Yeah, I would love to be able to provide something. I mean, obviously for our family and our friends, but also something that could be, used as a sanctuary away for other people who, want to rest and, just have a different change of pace and everything.
So you would want to do it to be kind?
I mean, if we can make money on it, sure, yes. I want the whole thing. But yes, I think it would definitely be a conversation that we would entertain.
Okay.
In having one, yes.
Because do you ever think about these people are coming for a night or a week, and maybe they're not going to take care of it the same way as you, and maybe they're going to not take care of, and it's not just the house, it's the furniture, it's the bedding,
Correct.
it's the dishes,
it's all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great questions. Yes, that's definitely something that, we would keep in mind when we're furnishing and, all the things. However, I do think that we would, set parameters as far as I don't want someone just coming to stay a night. We would have, I think, blocks and stuff. So we would have
a week.
Yeah. Or at least 4 days. I don't know.
I think because I owned long-term rentals before, which were fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of dealing with, something doesn't, and you can hire a management company.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
And they can handle the whole thing. And I have lots of clients who've bought vacation rentals and loved owning them and still own them. Mm-hmm. And they've been successful and they do vacation in the vacation rental. I just think, oh my gosh, the stress of worrying about what did they do? What did they not do? What's left? Somebody can't come or somebody, do I refund their money? Do I not refund their money? I don't know.
I think there's a lot that goes into it. I agree with you. I think it's definitely something that we would probably, purchase and own and make sure that we can function without having it rented out.
Yes.
And then maybe explore that option and hire, my husband, he likes, to check things out first. And so he'll read all the reviews for something. And so he'll pick a management company that would best suit for us.
Yeah.
Or be a good fit for us. And so, I mean, if we could do both and, have a fun
I guess
spot.
if you can manage it, have it managed,
yes.
where they're taking all the phone calls. If there's
yes.
forks missing,
yes.
they're the ones replacing them.
yes.
And I noticed, so there's the Harbor Island Beach Club,
yes.
which is in Melbourne Beach, and there's a vacation rental company out of Orlando that is managing a lot of those. Mm-hmm. And all the furniture and all the units is the same. Everything's the same, but they probably stock the bedding and
yes.
replacement furniture or whatever they need to do, so that they can just seamlessly
yes.
fix that. And they probably, and so as an owner, that's super great. You don't have to worry.
Yes. I mean, I think that we would furnish it accordingly to, to our taste and everything.
Yeah.
And, but I'm not going to put, crazy high-end anything, I think, in there, so, especially if we're going to have, other people who aren't related to us and who we know directly. Have
you ever stayed in an Airbnb or a vacation rental that was super furnished for them? Because I have, and it was lovely. I want to say I was like, oh, I love this place. I want to come only to this place because these guys that owned this and furnished it, and it was the best of everything. It was.
I mean, I think that, where we just recently went in Georgia, I mean, It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
We could have stayed another week.
Yeah.
You know, but it's funny because we're from Sunshine, Florida.
Yeah.
And so there it's like a log cabin. And so there's a lot of wood and a lot of warm tones and everything. And so it's so fun. So I think that each maybe unit is very different.
Yeah.
But that one, I don't know. It just speaks to my soul. So
yeah.
So second time there, I'm sure we're going to go back. So.
And how long did it take to drive there?
With a 5-year-old? A while.
I have to pee.
Yes. It should have only taken us 8-ish hours and a half. On the way home, it took like 11. It was great. We made it. It was great.
You got home, kissed the ground.
Yes.
It's like the astronauts landing.
Basically, yes.
Kiss the ground.
Yes.
Okay. Why do some people own one and not rent it out? I think kind of the reasons that I was saying. Like, if you don't have to and you think, well, that's my stuff and I put in the things I really love.
Yes.
And I don't want anyone else sleeping on my bed. And I don't want,
So, I mean, I think, there's some people that don't want to manage. It was funny because we actually had the conversation there with my father-in-law, and he was very adamant that that's not something that he'd be interested in.
Yeah.
And, that was like the first time it's like, oh, well, why not? But it makes sense. That's not, he's retired. He doesn't have to.
Right.
But that's not something that he's interested in doing. I think, and I have some clients who own multiple Airbnbs. And locally. So I think it might be different too. Is it going to be local?
Yeah.
If it's out of state, obviously you need someone to help you.
And would you want to own one locally? Because there's a lot of realtors, for example, who they buy Airbnbs locally here, and then they manage them themselves or whatever because they're here.
Yeah, I think I'd be open to it. I'm not opposed to it.
If I didn't stay in one, so I think if it wasn't my home, like if it was a straight investment, then I would feel differently. Like, okay, yes, because I'm not staying there, and you could have overflow guests or friends or whatever stay there, but it's not a place that I would normally stay. Of course, when I get my plumbing redone in like a month in my house, I wish I'm staying in someone else's Airbnb. I would stay in my own.
Sure.
But normally, I think I would feel better about it than if it was my second home.
Okay.
And the other thing, like the reason I don't think I would want to own one that was like my home is because I like to go to different places.
Same.
So then I would feel like, but I have this beautiful Airbnb. I should go there.
Yes.
And I would want to go somewhere else. I would want to experience something different. And then I would feel very obligated. Well, we're going to the mountains. We should go to that mountain and not to the mountain in Tennessee or Wyoming or whatever, because we have a mountain home. But I don't want to go to that mountain home.
Yes.
I want to go to what do they have in Wyoming? Elks?
Sure. Yellowstone, right? Go see Kevin Costner.
I want to see Kevin Costner.
Yeah, same. I would too.
But I mean, I would feel like obligated that I should go to the place that I already own.
Sure.
But if I had one locally, I wouldn't feel like that. It would be true investment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's different ways to look at it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be bad. There's people who love it. And the only thing I think for me as a realtor is like, I just had this recently happen where somebody came to me and they had bought a home recently with another realtor, a second home that they were going to rent out vacation here. They don't live here. And they didn't know that it couldn't be rented short term. They didn't realize the town that they bought in had a restriction.
Sure.
So you want to make sure the town doesn't, or if there's a HOA or a condo association or any sort of you need to check everything.
Yes. Good piece of advice.
Yes. Make sure that you can actually rent it for the term. Because some of them have a 3-month rental or a 1-year rental or no rentals or 1 month. There's very few.
90 days. I've seen those too. Yep.
Yeah. So people buy them and then they're like, oops.
Yeah. Just kidding. Well, you can come stay here for the first year if you want.
So just be careful of that, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good investment, or it can be, but I also think hotels are getting smart and they're sort of moving away from just a room.
Sure.
And they're doing more of that Airbnb experience. They're offering that. But you also get other things like you can have daily housekeeping and there's a restaurant and,
See, I think that's a great perspective that you just brought up as well. yes, hotels are more, I guess, all-inclusive-esque. But, if you want to go live like a local, somewhere that's not, that's kind of foreign to you, or not your everyday, life, I think that's a fun way to experience.
It is.
So it really just depends on what really you're looking for.
And like for me, my son has autism. He had to always have his own room.
Sure.
And even when he was little. So it's like we did do a lot of vacation rentals because we could have a house experience and we couldn't all be in one room. Like he had to have his own space and a quiet area and everything else. And you cannot do that. Well, you can in some hotels, but it's difficult.
Sure.
And cost-wise, it's a lot more cost-effective to stay in an Airbnb than to get 3 hotel rooms or whatever. Yeah.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's true. Well, it's true.
Yeah.
It is true. Saving money where we can.
Yes.
So that we can do more shopping when we're on vacation.
Or go to Wyoming.
Go for more spa days.
Yes.
Can I have a spa day? Yes, because you save money. It's girl math.
Yes. See? Brains and beauty.
Okay. What about, well, I think you brought up this good idea about shouldering the costs if you can't rent it, because I think that you brought that up, and that's true. Like if you bought one, you'd make sure you could just handle the expense.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't.
Yes. So I think that, before we do anything, it would definitely, because there's a couple of different ways. Obviously, you've got, especially here in Florida, if they're already, in an Airbnb or VRBO program, and, you just do a change of ownership, that's one thing, right? You're going to have a constant stream coming in. But if we're going big, we're going mountain cabin, or we're, doing something else.
I'm staying there.
Then, yes, we want it to be something that we can, obviously afford without having renters and everything too.
Yeah.
So we want to just make sure and be smart about that.
Because sometimes, you never know, like COVID happened, right? And nobody was traveling really. And what happened to all the people who had the Airbnbs? They still have to pay the mortgage or whatever, all the maintenance costs, everything. And no one was staying. Yeah.
Yes.
So make sure you're smart about it.
I'll try.
Okay. I'll try. Did you say I'll try?
I'll try.
Good. I think that's it. Do we have anything else?
I don't know.
Okay.
Where would you?
What would we want? What?
Where would you go? Where would you buy one?
So if it wasn't local and I was going to go, like I do like to go to the mountains just because, look, if I had a perfect world, I'd buy a little one like in London.
Okay.
A little flat somewhere.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Paris.
Yes.
Yes. Oui. I'd have some baguettes and croissants.
Yes.
And I would have like the Eiffel Tower, and I would have like the whole French experience, and I'd stroll down the street and go to the patisserie.
Okay. That sounds
and that
lovely.
would be lovely. Or London. I do love England. Or Italy. I will take, there's multiple places I would go. But I would do, if I was staying in the U.S., I would definitely do, although it would be kind of cool. See, now I'm talking about it. I'm like, it would be kind of cool to do like a city, like a New York City or Chicago. But for me, I think, like, I enjoy the getting away.
Yes.
So somewhere in probably North Carolina, like near Asheville or in some of the surrounding.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Perfect.
And would you do Georgia, or would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think somewhere different than Florida.
Yeah.
I think if it's going to be like for like our family first, and then
would it be driving distance, or would you have to fly there?
If you ask my 5-year-old, it'd be flying because she wants to fly.
I'm going to go on a plane.
Yes, if it's
so fun.
Drivable, that'd be great too. So
I think it's nice to drive, especially if you're going to stay in like a house or something like that for a week.
Yes.
And you don't have to do the rental car and deal with all that, and you can pile all your. Can I say crap? You can pile all your stuff.
Yes. All the things
into your car, and you don't have to worry, does it fit in a suitcase? Am I over the 50-pound weight limit? Can I bring the dog?
That's another one.
Diana just got a puppy recently.
We did. Yes. She did not come with us, which was good.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of stairs, and I would not have felt calm at all the entire trip.
Well, you don't own it, so you would have worried about her like teething on furniture or something like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But it's nice, like Oh, so that's a question then. See, look, I said we're going to end it, and then I just keep talking. Yeah. But would you allow pets at your Airbnb? Other people's pets?
That's a great question. My husband would probably say no.
Yeah.
I mean, debatable.
Yeah, I would say no.
That's up for debate. Okay.
Don't allow pets, because not everybody is good about their pets, and
very true.
Like you are.
Yeah.
You would be respectful with your, and most people are respectful, but then there's, and pets can cause a lot of damage in a short period of time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you all next time.
See you.
Right? Cheers.
Bye.